San Diego State. So it was announced today that San Diego State basketball, huge home and home series against Gonzaga. Yes, Gonzaga. Starting this season in, I believe, late December of this year, San Diego State will play at Gonzaga. And then next basketball season, Gonzaga will come back and play San Diego State at Viejas Arena. So I think that is really cool. And Gonzaga, they play everybody. I mean, they played, I think, Michigan State in San Diego last year on the aircraft carrier. They play big time opponents because obviously they play in a small conference during their conference play. So they have to build the strong resume. So they play a bunch of good teams at the beginning of the year before their conference play starts. And so for them to put San Diego State in it means that they really believe that San Diego State is a quality opponent for them. Obviously, Gonzaga is a quality opponent for San Diego State. And San Diego State is a quality opponent. Like, obviously, they just made it to the championship game last year, Final Four, all that. And this year, they added some talent. There's obviously some guys that are not here, Keyshawn Johnson and Nathan Mensah, Agreka Rope, Adam Seiko. Like, there's guys that they have to replace, but there's some good talent coming in here. And there's some chances for some young guys to step up. Lamont Butler is still here. You still got Dutch, obviously, the good coaching staff. So I can't wait for this Gonzaga-San Diego State matchup. And if San Diego State, even if they lose to Gonzaga, I don't want to go in thinking they're going to lose, but if they do lose and it's close, that's still going to help them probably in seeding for March Madness, in, the rankings during the season, because Gonzaga is a really quality opponent. So that's cool. Home and home series at Gonzaga this year, and then at Viejas Arena for next basketball season. There was also some other news for San Diego State. Moving over to the baseball team, new head coach, the pitching coach or the interim head coach, because Mike Martinez, he retired earlier this year. Shaun Cole, who was the pitching coach, was the interim. He has been named the permanent head coach. And San Diego State last year, they went 24-29, which doesn't seem that great, and it's not that great, but they did have a pretty good record overall in the conference. In the conference, they finished 18-11. Kind of disappointing showing that they had in the Mountain West tournament. I think they lost their first two games there. But Shaun Cole, pitching coach, now head coach, this is a great opportunity for him, and he has a history of developing players. You could go back to last year where TJ Fontaine, he was just picked in the 14th round of the draft by the Tampa Bay Rays. And then there was another pitcher, I believe, picked by the Blue Jays shortly thereafter in the 15th round. And like, he has the history of making players that San Diego State recruits, making them better, finding a way to make them better, getting the most out of them. And I think he can continue to do this. He's familiar with the San Diego State program. So it's not like there's going to have to be an adjustment period by a new head coach to get to know players and all that. Someone that knows the importance of keeping San Diego players in San Diego, and he has a track record. Obviously, head coach now, was the pitching coach for a few years, was at Eastern Kentucky as an associate head coach. He was coordinator for player development with the Padres for 3 years. He was the 18U national team director for Team USA for a couple years. He was the pitching coach at the University of Arizona when they won the College World Series, and director of baseball operations before that with Arizona. So I worked my way back there with his experience, but a lot of experience, some in professional baseball, some with Team USA. So I like to see when programs elevate from within, promote from within, guys that have been there for a little bit. Now, this isn't someone that's been there for a decade or anything, but someone that's been there, knows the program, knows the culture, and can continue that. And I think that will help San Diego State here in the first season under Shaun Cole as the head coach of the baseball program.